Live. Okay, welcome. We've got some returnees, we've got some ninjas, and we have my good friend James here. So today, guys, the shortened one, we're going to do targeted cars, and then we were going to continue, or I'm going to continue getting the fancy tools out of the sort of Kinstretch toolbox. Okay, we spent many months doing the stretching and all the kind of finding specific tissues and expanding range. Now I want to use whatever range you've got, okay? So we're going to be doing specifically sort of hovers, okay? We've done a few of them. I'm going to try a couple more base positions, targeted cars, some hovers for the lower body, and then we will go back and check in with those base positions and then do some more cars, and then you can see how they change from where you're doing them right now. I have on my list cars here. So rather than, I want you to go slowly. I want you to push right to the edge, okay, for those people who know what I'm talking about. And if you do get out of sync with me, then that's absolutely fine. For those who are experienced, if you want to kind of rewind during a circle, then that's also absolutely fine, okay? Without further ado, I'm going to start with shoulder cars. So find a position, standing, kneeling, whatever makes sense for you. We're going to go shoulders, and what I mean by that is moving our shoulder blades. As explained, I often do it in this position so I don't have to move the camera. So here we go. Ribcage down, okay, from here, hands at the side. If you've got a seam on your trousers, you can, or your leggings, you can put the middle finger on that seam, and I want you to lift your shoulders up towards your ears. Keep going as much as you can. Remember, we're going slowly today. Without bending the elbow or the wrist, I want you to start bringing those shoulders forward into protraction. Okay, keep elevating forwards. Then I want you to depress, but stay forwards. So let the shoulders hang again. Now I want you to retract, so pulling those shoulder blades together. Imagine you've got a pencil between your shoulder blades, and then you're going to elevate again. Okay, for those who are experienced, just keep going in that direction, forwards, depress, retract, up, okay? I'm going to stop, little compensations, okay, that we might see. So when we're moving the shoulder blades, I only want the shoulder blades to move, and I want you sort of clucking like a chicken, all right, or puffing your chest out, okay? Just trying to move and express movement only from your shoulder blades. Now in the opposite direction, so elevate, retract, depress, protract, elevate, retract, as far as you can, depress, protract. Another couple, really slow, making sure that you maintain the edges of what you have available to you. Okay, now we're going to move on to the actual shoulder joint itself. I'm going to turn on for this one. All right, if you were sitting like this and you're no longer comfortable, change position. One hand, okay, your left hand's going to come just hand underneath onto the rib cage. Open palm, straight arm in front. We're going to come across the body, okay? Across the body, we come up past the face. Keep externally rotating. Rib cage down. Then once you reach that stop point, I'm just going to turn slightly. Once you reach the stop here, you start to rotate your thumb towards the floor and start to reach back behind you. Keep rotating that hand as you then come through. The back of your hand is now facing the leg, okay? We're going to reach back, almost like you're in a relay race. Go as far as you can, squeeze it in towards the middle. Rotate the thumb towards the ceiling. Keep rotating as you then come back up, over, past the ear, and then back in front again, okay? Same again, we come back up, hold, rotate at that stop point, start to stretch back behind you, back. Compensations that you can watch out for here, bending the arm, bending the wrist. For those people who know, keep going, okay? You can start lifting and hiking the shoulder as if you were trying to hold a phone to your ear. Stretch back, rotate, up and over, okay? Oh, gone rogue and moved the camera this week. Might have been a mistake. Open palm, okay? I'm going to come across the body again, up past the face. Keep externally rotating. What I mean by that is trying to rotate your palm towards the ceiling. Up and across. Once you start feeling yourself lean up with your chest, that's your stop point. Rotate behind you and back the other way. Rotate up and over. Okay. When we do these cars, speed is never your friend. All right, so slowly, slowly, catchy monkey. When you've picked your base position, as you can see, I just changed slightly just to make sure I'm on camera. Okay, I now no longer want to move from the rest of my body. Just at the shoulder. A little bit of spine work. I will be on camera for this one, for sure. Okay, all fours position. Cat camels, for any of you yogaists, it's a common movement, okay? We want to see individual movement of each vertebrae, or, you know, for now in class, just want you to move your spine like a wave. Hands underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips. Start in a sort of neutral position, and then I want you to start at the base. I want you to tuck your tailbone underneath you. Okay, so we're going to unload the spine. Soft elbows a little bit, and you start tucking that tailbone underneath you, pushing up into a sort of camel shape. The big hump on your back. You move up through the low back. Keep unloading that spine through the mid back. Up through the upper back. It's okay to push through the shoulder blades, but just be aware that that's no longer coming from the spine, that's shoulder blades. Okay? Tuck the chin when you're finished. Take a breath. Now we're going to load the spine. So I'm going to take this tailbone, I'm going to stick it up in the air. Okay? Thinking about getting long. Can even push my hands apart and push them away from my legs as I then go into extension. What you're witnessing here, guys, is a guy with a not very bendy back. Let that chest drop towards the floor as you then lift your chin and look through your eyebrows. Stay there, take a breath. As you unload the spine again, I want you to think about pulling your hands and your knees together, and you're going to start tucking again, hopefully from here, okay? One vertebrae at a time. Through the low back, through the mid back, up through the upper back, and then tuck that chin. Last time, load, soft elbows. Push your hands and knees apart as you take your tailbone up towards the ceiling. This is the cat part, if you haven't figured that out. Slowly finish one vertebrae, then onto the next. No need to rush. You can see that I've got soft elbows. Through that middle of that back. Chest down towards the floor. And then lift. And then through the eyebrows. Excellent. Right. Your friend and mine, the sideline hip car. So hips. Find a comfortable position on your side. Okay, we're going to start with that 90 degrees here, 90 degrees here. So we are going a bit slower here. So for those who have got experience, I don't want to be hearing any moaning about, oh, I'm not getting a lot out of this. This is the base, all right? This is your gravy. So you've got to be squeezing everything out of these cars. A little bit of space between the floor and your abdomen. Push this lower leg into the floor, the other leg sits on top. These arms, if you want something on your head, that's fine, all right? I'm going to support myself here. I'm going to bring that knee in towards my elbow, the top leg in towards my elbow. I'm shortening stuff here. Take a breath. Start to open it up towards the ceiling, so like these knees are repelling each other. Don't roll, okay? Open up. It's getting a bit spicy in here now. Start to rotate, knee towards the floor, foot towards the ceiling. So it's from there to there. Again, you're witnessing a guy with pretty sticky hips. Keep that rotation as you then start to kick back. Hold. Don't let it drop. You can feel then into that ass cheek at the back. Then you can lower down. Bring in again. Shorten the tissue here. Open. Rotate. Keep rotating as you kick back. Keep kicking back as you then lower down. And then we've got to do it in the reverse. Don't worry, you're not supposed to be doing this now. You stay balanced. Okay, donkey kick first. Rib cage down. Let's make sure that we're not bucking bronco. Okay, it's just coming from the hips. Not everybody's going to get back here. Hold. Keep kicking as you lift. That's where you get it in the bum. Rotate. Oh, that's my first Freudian slip again. It's getting worse, man. Keep rotating as you come up and then lower down. Donkey kick back. Hold. Rib cage down. Lift. Rotate. Really crank it up. Make sure that you squeeze everything out of it. Shorten. And down. Right. Other side. And then we're done. I know this is slow, but we're not doing any pails and rails. We're going straight into the hovers today. Okay? 90 degrees. 50 quid underneath this knee, so you can't get up. All right? Oh, God, why did I move the camera? Head. Bring it in. Hold. Shorten that tissue. Open it up like a dog pissing on a lamppost. Hold. Stretch through here. Okay, shortening on this side, opening up. Rotate. A little bit of rotation there for Matt. Donkey kick back, but keep rotating. Keep kicking back as you lower down. I'm adjusting for the sofa here. Shorten tissue. Open. Rotate. Donkey kick. Lower down. Okay. If you're one of those people that have been doing this for many, many weeks, try and increase the intensity now. Okay. For those people who are doing this for the first time or they're just coming back, smooth. Control your breathing. Donkey kick last time. Squeeze into that bum. Lift. Rotate. Up. Down. All right, well done. So it took a little bit longer then. Okay, 15 or 20 minutes or so now of these hovers. So some of these base positions you have done before. Okay, 90-90, bear sit, quadruped. So no surprises there. The surprises come with the kind of movement that we're going to do from that base position. Something to bear in mind before we start is this idea of the volume dial. So often I'll be calling out the reps and I'll be like 1, 2. That is your signal. When I call 1, that is your signal to start dialing up the intensity, recruiting more muscle stuff, all the stuff that you need in order to do the movement that I want. Okay, it's not just a light switch and throw yourself at it. Okay, so the call of the count of 1 or 2 or whatever we are is a call for you to start dialing up. It does mean that you might end up a little bit out of sync. Okay, that's fine. All right, don't freak out. So 90-90, back leg or internal rotation hovers. Okay, so the 90-90 is called 90-90 because it's 90 degrees here and 90 degrees here. Okay. Some of us are not going to be that comfortable up nice and tall. It's getting better for me every week. I don't know whether you've been watching. All right, I used to be over here. But that is not important. What is important is you are comfortable. So if sitting up tall is causing you to think, fucking hell, it's all in my side and your face is red as a beetroot, just chill, all right? We're focusing on the back leg so we can take the front leg out of it a little bit. If you need to lean out to the side, that's also fine. If you end up out here, also fine. All right, as long as we've got access to this and you can think about that. All right, if it's the first time you've done this, just gonna have to play around with it. Okay, The idea of the hovers that I want is to try and lift the knee and the ankle at the same time, okay, off the floor without lots of movement through here. Okay, so for me, I'm sitting up very tall and showing off, but I can't lift that leg from there. I'm having to go out here. I might even need to come a little bit forward, all right? That's fine. Wherever your position is, as soon as you pick it, when you then try and lift, the rest of your body doesn't move. If you pick a position and I say lift and you dial and you do this, that's naked. You might as well have just started up here. All right, so the idea, little magician's trick, is to try and get the knee and the foot up together using all of this stuff in here, okay? I want you to think hard about this. I don't want the back doing the lifting. It can stabilize, but not the lifting, okay? If that is as clear as mud, we shall begin, all right? Think about dialing up, think about looking at it, or maybe just imagining what that stuff is and it's shortening to create this levitation of the shin. We're going to lift, hold 5 seconds, pop it down. I'll read. Here we go. So from your position, all right, and don't worry if you get it wrong for the first one, you're going to take a big breath in. Imagine someone's going to punch you in the stomach and you brace. We're going to then start to dial up that tissue and I want you to lift in your own time. If you're with me, it's going to happen now. Hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, place down. You may get some cramping today. Cramping is fine. All right, it's just a misfiring of stuff. You're not going to do yourself any mischief. Same again. If your leg is coming up miles, make it harder by coming up more. Okay, take a breath. Dial it up and lift when you're ready. Hold. 5, 4, using all of this stuff in here. 2, 1, relax. Ready, brace, lift. 4, 3, 2, 1. Bit easy for Matt, he's coming up. All right, I'll do a cheeky something from the side, give you an idea of where I'm at. Dialing this up, shortening this tissue, trying to lift that leg. 2, 1, lift. And place. That's 4. Last one. Set. Rib cage down, nice and stolid. Push the hands into the floor, push the front leg down, and lift when you're ready. 2, 1, relax. If you're in a position now where you're like, I can't get that leg up at all, that's fine. It just means that you've got a heavy leg for how strong you are, all right? Get that line of communication into that tissue, all right? We are now going to do the same leg, and I'm going to add in a little piece, okay? So now we're going to do a hover and a hinge, okay? So we're going to lift, hold, and then see if you can straighten, and then come back and place down. You're going to do it with lots of control. The same rules apply. No rocking and rolling once you've decided where you're going to start. All right, if you make a mistake, adjust for the next rep. All right, when you do the hinge, it gets harder. Oh, James is a physicist. The weight's getting further away, all right, from the anchor point. That's why it's hard. Bring it back, place down. If that puts the fear of God into you, just do 5 more lifts. If you can't do lifts, just think about that tissue shortening and lift it up, all right? Even if it doesn't come up, you can still work that tissue. Take a breath. Find your position, and 1. Hold, hinge, back, down together. No rest for the wicked. Lift, hinge, back, down, lift, hinge, back, down, lift, hinge. If you want, don't put it down for the last one if you're feeling fancy. And again. And down. It's a lot. It's a lot. Perfect one for you to turn up to, James. Poor bugger. Okay, here we go. 90-90 on the other side. Okay, we look symmetrical, right? We've got 2 legs, 2 arms, 1 head, but even that's symmetrical down the middle. But that doesn't mean when we come to these kind of positions that you're going to be able to express exactly the same ability. This is my sort of stickier side, so I'm going to have to make an adjustment. All right, I'm probably going to be further out. It means that I'm just not going to feel as strong. Respect that. That's fine. All right, don't beat yourself up. Back leg, focusing on this tissue. 5 lifts, 5-second hold. Brace. Somebody's going to hit you in the stomach. Hands down into the floor. Statue. Drive the front leg down. Lift when you're ready. And lift. Hold. 4, 3, 2, 1. Place down. If it's getting more intense in the back, further away. Okay. If it's just feels like it's stabilizing, great, that's awesome. If it feels like you're trying to yank it up, all right, and it's coming in and doing the job of this stuff in the old haunch and throw, then stop. Ready? And lift. Place down. Breath and lift. Down. Lift. Dial up. Shorten this stuff. 3, 2, 1. A bit easy. And lift. And place down. I'm going to say that was 5, but it might have been 4. If you think it's 4, do 1 more. If you think it's 5, that's fine. Now we're going to go into the hinge, all right? Because they're always on the second side. It comes thick and fast, all right? Because I don't need to do as much explanation. So the lift, hold, increase the lever length, all right? The weight's getting further away from the joint. That's why it's more challenging. Only go as far as you can control. If you lift and you start doing this, well, you're shaking. Just control it. That'll do, and back. All right, if you just need to do the lift, that's also fine. On your marks, breath, pack it down, push those arms down, wind it up, lift, hinge, back, down. Remember, less of this. And lift, hinge, back, down. Lift, hinge, hinge, down. Lift. 4. Hard one. This one, don't pop it down. And place. Well done, well done. That is sort of internal rotation stuff plus abduction, all right? The next position, we'll be focusing on external rotation of the hips, okay? So no need to do isometric moving path because we've got a lot to get through. So we now go to the bear sit position. So what that means is, for those who are comfortable on the floor, all right, it's legs nice and wide like a teddy bear. In a perfect world, you would try and be kind of upright, all right? Not so much that you're flaring the chest, but you don't want to look like a sack of spuds. However, that's not to discriminate against sacks of spuds, all right? It just makes it a little bit, I don't know, a bit harder. So you can do yourself a favor. Sit on something, a cushion, a pillow, a housemate, and then you will be able to better find that position. If there isn't enough pillows in the world, don't worry, all right? It might just mean that we could work on some other pieces in your own personal mobility. All right, from the front, it's knees wide, toes pulled up, all right? The hands, for now, can go on shins, and you can use that as an anchor point to kind of find your position. All right, chin down. All right, chest down. And just hang out there for a sec. And while you're hanging out there and trying to get comfy, I'm going to do a couple demos. All right, so hovers, external rotation. External rotation is this one, that one. Okay, knee kind of going out. It's kind of what you do when you squat, or you should do, right? Externally rotate. Okay, and the way that we're going to do that from here is you're either going to create tension through your hands, no hands on the floor, that's super duper 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 hard, or you're going to hold one leg, okay, for stability, or you're going to push hands down into the floor. The idea is to get one foot off the floor. We'll start with the right, shall we? All right, but it's not just a lift, because that would be coming in as well. What I want is lift external rotation. So the idea is you're trying to get your foot higher than your knee. So if I do a demonstration now from the side, I'm nice and tall, take a breath, brace, push it to the floor and lift. And I'm trying to externally rotate. Same rules. Hover 5 seconds, and then we're going to do the hinge. All right. Word of warning, this is going to suck. All right. Might be some quad cramping going on here. Stay within your sensible limits, guys. All right. I don't want you rolling on the floor, writhing in cramp city pain. Okay. Nice and tall. Option: hand here, both hands down, whatever you feel, or if you really want to spice it up, no support at all. Take a breath. Think about all the stuff that's going to help you externally rotate, get that foot higher, start to shorten that tissue and start to build it up. And when you're ready, we lift. Right side. 2, 1. My seconds are definitely going to get shorter here. Brace. Drive this leg down and lift. Externally rotate. Place. Lift. Down. If you're feeling confident. Oh God. Ready? Drive this one down. Brace. Punching in the stomach and lift. I think that was 4. And lift. Externally rotate. All of this stuff like a circle and relax. If there you were starting in a decent position, or you felt like that's kind of easy, but as soon as you started to lift, you're losing it, hands behind. That's another option. All right. That's absolutely legit and fine. For this one, it may well be, because we're going to make it more complex and now start hinging, it's going to get heavier. Maybe it's better if we start with our hands behind, okay? If you're right on the limit, your edge, okay, and you weren't even considering lifting your hands off the floor, I would then start with this one, all right? Take a breath. We're going to lift. You're going to extend the leg, tap the floor, lift straight, come back. Here we go. Take a breath. Start to shorten all that tissue that's going to help you externally rotate. Foot off the floor. It comes up, hold, straighten, touch, lift, back in, lift, straighten, lift. If you're thinking, I thought he said put his hands behind the back to make it easier, it may be now that it's harder, it's easier to initiate the movement, but harder to do it because you're not cheating now anywhere else. All right, so I'm sorry about that. Lift, up, straighten that leg, place, lift, up, place it back, lift, Last one. Oh. Okay. Everything on the other side now. So the first one is the external rotation, foot trying to come up higher. Again, don't be surprised if you have to change position here. Have a couple for free, all right? One because you weren't concentrating, one because you're a bit overambitious. Fine, make sure the last three are spot on, rigid, solid as a rock. Okay, this leg up. Focusing on left leg. Take a breath. Pack air in, start to dial up, start to shorten that tissue on the outside. Foot coming up higher when you're ready. Lift, fight for more. Try and get that foot up and place. You got to feel it deep, deep in the groin. Ready? Lift. Down. If you can think of rotational imagery that's helpful, tightening a screw, screwing a lid on a bottle, whatever helps you think, because I've never seen the inside of a hip, all right? So if you feel like there's other imagery there that helps, go for it. Ready? And lift. Down. And lift. Down, trying to get that foot higher than the knee. Last one, and you can probably hear me taking the breath, all right? It's not just for effect into my cheeks, all right? I'm trying to get it down in here, all right? I'm trying to drop that diaphragm, I'm trying to increase pressure in here. I use the imagery of getting punched in the stomach. If you've done any Pilates, you might find some of that terminology useful, zipping up, whatever. An expanding of pressure, tubular pressure in all three directions, not just letting your face go red as a beetroot. Now we have the straight leg hinge, okay? Just gotta move a little bit, take a breath. Dial it up, external rotation first. Straighten, place. That's cramping my quad. Lift, up, place. Lift, straighten, up, lift, give you an idea, you can see perhaps this is supposed to stay straight. This is me fighting it. Ready, lift. You can see that movement there. And now get staying straight. That gets a little harder. Last one. Lift. Straighten. Up. Foot high. Place down. Okay. Wunderbar, very well done. Okay. As usual, Matt's been ambitious in the 45. Okay, I did have some quadruped stuff to do, but a little bit of internal, external is not a bad place to finish. Okay, so your friend and mine, the shoulder car. We did it earlier, okay, but now we're going to do it from very base positions. I normally let you decide how you're going to do it during the cars or during that beginning series. All right, you're either standing, you're just comfortable. Now I'm going to challenge you by not allowing you to change the position. So 90-90 to start. Sure. This side. Oh no, this side. Okay, so the idea is that now we're going to use this right arm to do our shoulder cars. All right, so you're going to set up 90-90. And here, the base position is important because that creates a challenge, but I don't want it to then distract from the quality of this. So the main function is still to train this shoulder joint through its full range, just like you would do in the normal series, but with a higher, slightly higher intensity, but without having to think, my God, all I can think about is my legs. All right? So again, that means that you need to be out here. All right? That's absolutely fine. For those who have experience with the cars, just appreciate how this feels. All right? This will be the first time that we've done it from here. So just appreciate the difference and the different challenge, the different sensations in that shoulder, having to think about some of this other stuff. I don't want this to be easy. I just still want this to be the main focus and intention. Okay? So, without further ado, from that 90-90, we face forwards, okay, over the front leg. Find that comfortable position. You're going to take your open palm, come across the body. All right, remember I said a little bit of extra intensity, so maybe even squeeze the fist a bit, maybe up to sort of 30 to 50% of your max. All right, across the body, up, past the face. Keep externally rotating the palm towards the ceiling. No leaning still, no compensation, up towards the ear. Hold. Start to rotate the thumb towards the floor from the shoulder, hopefully. Okay, think about the shoulder moving first, not just the forearm. Rotate. Keep rotating as you start reaching backwards. Keep rotating. Hold. Follow through. Back of the hand to face the leg. Reach back, same rules, relay race. You see I was compensating over my wrist, straighten that up. Rotate the thumb towards the ceiling. No flaring again, rib cage down. Start to come up and across. And finish. Okay, that was super easy. I'm going to make it harder at the base or more intensity into the arm. And by intensity, I mean squeeze. 90-90. All right. Again, appreciate the difference between left and right. You might have to start at a different position. I don't want this to dominate too much. I do want it to be a challenge. Open palm across the body or tight fist. Come across as far as you can. Start to lift up, rib cage down. Towards the ear. If you start to lift the chest, stop here, that's fine. You can rotate from there, that's your shoulder. Don't want shoulder and spine. Lift. Start to rotate the thumb towards the floor from the shoulder itself. Keep rotating as you start to reach back. Keep reaching back as you then come down. Keep rotating, back of the hand faces the thigh. Stretch back, relay race. Rotate again. Up and across. And finish. Okay? Next one, same stuff with the arm, different base position. Just about nailed this by the skin of my teeth. All right? Come up just that little bit. So my arms a bit. All right? A bit more. Bear sit. If you're thinking, there's no way I'll move my arm there, get a pillow. Lateralize, don't regress. Lateralize, all right? Sit. Pull those legs in as high as you can. Work from there. Across the body, right arm. Up. Same again. Past the ear. No moving. You will find that it's more difficult to cheat now. Rotate towards the floor. Keep pulling those toes up. Stretch. Back. Relay race. Stretch back. Thumb towards the ceiling. back up and across the body. I'm going to swizzle. Try it without me block. Other side. If you need to adjust on this side, that's fine. All right. It's got to be a challenge, but not impossible. Here we go. Lift. Open across the body. Up, past the face towards the ear. Ribcage stays down. Rotate from the shoulder, not just the forearm. Keep rotating. Keep that high tension. Stretching back. Touch the floor. Lift. Relay race. Take the baton. Rotate the thumb towards the ceiling. Along the whole arm. Stretch along that line as you come up. And forward. Okay? If that's hard and you're like, you know what, I'm done here, go back to where you were at the very beginning, standing, kneeling, your favorite position. For those who are in for a bit more, I have the quadruped position for you. One more circle on each, but if you want a real challenge, okay, if you really want to spice it up, not only ask you to do it from the quadruped position, but loaded, all right? And loaded to me means knees off the floor. Getting ready, almost into this sort of baby crawl position. Sure, give it a go, all right? If this is your first time where you're like, my body doesn't do that, that's fine. Just do it from here. I don't want rotation through the torso, okay? To give you an idea, this is my range. I can fake it by doing this, but that movement is no longer coming from my shoulder, okay? Hopefully you'll just be able to see what shoulder, and you'll just have to trust that my arm's straight. For those lunatics that are going to do it loaded, up you go. Up and hold. Find a position where you can then lift up your arm. All right, I'm staying down here. Ready? Raise. Take that arm, start to rotate, and bring it out to the side, probably into a T shape. Keep rotating. Then get that hand as high as you can. Keep rotating. Keep rotating. Into extension, full extension. And then you can lower down. You're going to just touch the floor and go. Lift, extension, hold. High as you can. Don't let that shoulder roll. Thumb towards the ceiling. Up and across. And back down. Last one. All right, I'll try it. Let's see, grown man sweat his tits off. Here we go. For those who are just on their all fours, you may begin. For us who are loaded, load, lift, rotate, keep rotating, height, stay level, full extension, lower down, not cheating, extend, rotate, up and across. All right, find a position that you're comfortable in. Close your eyes, listen to my dulcet tones. Breathe, in through your nose, out through your nose, 60 seconds. $50 seconds to go. All right. What's next week? 27th. Right. So I think what we will do, you're still breathing by the way, is we will keep getting these fancy tools out of the toolbox, all right? It's good for me, I'm still learning the teaching, all right? It's good for you because you can see where it can go, the possibilities are endless, all right? And then in November, we'll go right back to basics again, all right? And then we will look at maybe some different joints. How about that? It's not all just hips and shoulders, guys. There's wrists, ankles, knees, necks, all right, spines. I'll give you plenty of warning for those because they will be different. Obviously, everybody will have to go back to learning new skills. Some of the terminology will be the same, pails, rails, that kind of stuff. But get ready to go back to school, all right? I wish you a very good evening. And that's it. Off you go. Bye.
Thanks, Matt.
See you later.
Thank you, Matt.
Thanks,
No
Matt.
worries. Always, guys. Feedback. Feedback.
Cheers, bud.
All right. James. Oh, hang on. Let me just unrecord this. Stop recording.